Kwa majina ni Yani. Yani
Alexis on the beat.
weka mziki, leo nataka kucheza. Nina mabeshte ndani kwa party, tunataka kucheza. Shida ni mingi, leo nataka kucheza. You know, we just wanna party and enjoy. Leo lazima nyama kwa wingi, ugali kidogo, pombe kwa wingi, chesa kidogo, mapenzi kwa wingi, chuki kidogo, situzitoke mdogo. For the sun fits on us, tujibambe pamoja. For the sun fits on us, tulewe pombe pamoja. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku si tunapare.
Holla the man them, holla the girl them. What I want every day we do it for the fun them. Sexy ladies in the party, man about money and you know it's an anthem. Give thanks to the Most High. Every day a blessing you see and we multiply. Bigger picture now your good side. A bigger picture now your good side. Jaba kwa wingi ngoi kidogo, usiogope choma foto. Pigia Cindy, pigia Jojo, na tunarudi soko. Cause I know you sacrifice, tujibambe pamoja. I know you sacrifice, situchome kimoja.
It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Nina mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku si tunapare.
Nina mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Nina mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare.
Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku si tunapare.
Pwani, diani, mina repon ami. Send me money, mteja patikani. Honey, naomba samahani. I'm amin. Niko busy doing business. Niko easy, squeezy kuna business. I'm making money, wewe uko nyumbani. Sini kona kali, wewe uko na nani?
Mina tafuta, unga mafuta. Natoa machozi jasho kesho aluta. Kini kachi ya my feelings, na bomo wa my ceilings I'm on fire. Mina tafuta, unga mafuta. Najituma mbele nyuma ninazunguka. Kale tuko kwa scenes, tuna bomo wa my screens, tuna fly.
Flying high, tuko juu. Flying high, tuko view. Flying high, tuko juu. Living life, kama juu. Flying high, tuko juu. Flying high, tuko view. Flying high, tuko juu. Living life, kama juu.
Look up in the air, that thing fly up in the cloud. Is it a bird? Higher than a Kingston priest on a mountain top on a holy herb. Niko sure this ain't nothing that you've ever heard. Got a gang ukitaka kanuka sema ngwe, just give us the word. 10 toes on the ground, nikiswish tumaleza kukafunga. Tunajua niko na battalion nina ningoja kwa nyumba. Wife anataka unga na watoi wanataka Oreo. Bibi nafaa kuwarunda, so siwezi tegemea mamorio. Y'all might assume many like you, my shake on my posy. But you can understand what we went through. Tukimwaga damu, jasho machozi. Madharau na matusi kutoka marafiki hawakupendi. Nowadays ni magigs at towns, ni mabookings kila weekendi. Kwa kila vita tuko glorious. Opposition man, I'm sad for your sorry yes. Tendaje mashindano na mawari, especially kama biti mevinywa na mutoria. Fast moto na beat catchy. Substandard of it to mistaki. Kompena wadishika mishkaki. Eyes on the prize, you can never distract me. Auniaji angachi, tena makina nani wameshikilia kosto. Yo bakita ni aje, kitalewa na nawo tuna dominate most. Let them know that we the bestest. It's so Molo on the mic, and I'm rocking it with the next line. Tuko juu, flying high. Tuko few, flying high. Tuko juu, living life. Kama juu, flying high. Tuko juu, flying high. Tuko few, flying high. Tuko juu, living life. Kama juu.
Top of the morning, everybody. Karanja to the stage. It's your girl, Sandra. Sasa, that song that was playing before, I'm trying to remember. I feel like last night somebody tried to make me listen to it, and automatically in my vibe mode, it was lit. But let me tell you guys first of all actually where I was yesterday night. So there's this genius of a guy called Fully Focus. Kenyan guy based in Atlanta, DJ. But this guy has been pushing for African music out there in terms of Instato for over a decade. Like, he was the first person to give Wizkid a performance in the States. And his whole mission was, at the time, the big, the rising sound was obviously Afrobeats, like in a P-Square, in a D'banj, obviously like in a Wizkid. And so when he was trying to now push the agenda of getting African music within the global markets. So yesterday, there's a project he's been working on, his first album. It has taken 4.5 years. It's called The African Ambassador, because if anything that Focus is about is literally advocating for this continent. So guys, let me tell you, on this album, he has a list of A-list artists from literally across the continent. Tuko na Shoma Jozi, tuko na Niliola, tuko na Yalevis, okay, from the Congo. We've got, I forget his name. There's an artist from Liberia. He's got George from Cape Verde. He's got obviously Bien representing Kenya. He's got Lumi representing Kenya. He's got Ghana represented on there. He's got Nigeria. He even got a retired Vanessa Mdee to be on his album. So you guys, when I tell you, Fully Focus is on to something. Okay, it's not a joke. And let me tell you guys, it is hit after hit after hit. And there's literally something for everybody. Whether it's Amapiano, Afrobeats, Kizomba, like the African R&B, Afro House. He's got it locked down. So if you were not there yesterday, I don't know. Anyway, but the album is out now. On all streaming platforms. Please go start streaming and downloading the African Ambassador album by Fully Focus, because it is literally one of the best representations of African music and African talent that we're going to see in a very, very long time. Sasa, let's get into some banter. So as I'm sure all of you guys know, in the last couple of, let me just say, like 9 days, our governor, man like Sakaja, mi sijui ni nani alimkasirisha kwake hiyo siku. The guy woke up and decided, nyi watu hii masherehe mezo kupiga hapa left, right and center haiwezi. So very calmly, our guy decided that he's shutting this whole clubbing in residential areas down. And he did it in such a way where if you did not have a nightclub license, okay, they were literally physically coming to close your bar down if you had not shut down by 10. Because the cutoff time for non-nightclub venues is 10 p.m. Especially the ones in residential areas. Now, when I started partying back in the day, we used to party, in Westlands, alafu kulikuwa obviously na Tao. Never went to town because my mom used to say, Aiwezi. Like for her, she was like, you're going to end up getting, like, I don't know, stabbed. So just maintain within Westlands. But I do not understand what changed in the entertainment industry in Kenya that made people want to party within residential areas. And even by the time people were buying houses to convert to bars, I don't know why the respective powers that be didn't foresee an incoming problem. You understand what I'm trying to say? So now all of a sudden 2022 December, after being locked up for 2.5 years, all of a sudden it's when they've realized this story of clubs in residential areas is a problem. So now wanaanza kutupatia pressure and stress. Guys, but if you see how the raids were being done, it's so hectic. Like 10:15, by like 10:01, they're already outside your club. So kama mjafunga hiyo music na watu wametoka, they physically enter and start putting patrons up in the Mariamus, as you guys like to call them, and all that kind of stuff. So it's been really rough. But I think the bigger problem and the bigger question we must ask ourselves is this. Is this really necessarily effective in terms of curbing that problem, as opposed to just giving the respective licenses that are required to the respective clubs on site? You know what I mean? Whoever can pay for it, get your license, get your soundproofing done. That stuff takes, I know of clubs that have done it within a day, 2 days maximum. And then we keep it moving, because the number of people losing out business-wise because of this new rule, or like the implementation of this new rule, is really, really rough. From staff, because if you think about it logically in a club, okay, so you've got about, let's say, a minimum of 100 staff members. That includes waiters, management, security, and so on. You're telling them you're paying these, and most of these guys, they're paid by the hour or by the shift. So if your shift started at 5 and it ends at 10, and you have to go home and you don't have any other means of income, you've gotten your 3K. That means the whole night, ideally the tips you'd have been getting to sustain your household is out the window. Most of these guys are literally looking after households with a minimum of 4 to 5 people in there. So if somebody is only taking home 3 Gs, you've got 5 people to feed, you've got rent, you've got bills, you've got school fees, you've got to clothe yourselves. We're not being sensible in terms of the workforce. And what's then going to happen is this whole drama that's happening in terms of crime and all that is going to then re-escalate, because people have no means. You know what I mean? Then to make it worse, it's the festive season. How is it in the festive season during the World Cup period are we telling people you've just got to go back to your house? Like, it's very sad that we're going back to literally COVID times, or literally trying to re-encourage the insanity that was booking Airbnbs to be able to party all night with your friends and have a good time, because you cannot be in the clubs yet apparently we're out of the COVID season. It doesn't make any sense what our government and what our dear governor is trying to do. We get the bigger picture. Yes. We saw the videos of the angry little Indian guys complaining because they can't sleep. I don't know whose children can't sleep. I get it. But I think the bigger evil is the consequence of how many people are going to lose out on money and what the repercussions of that is going to be. I think the easiest solution is just to get the respective clubs to implement